Grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, 'cause real women don't bitch. No, real women don't. 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 Real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Kings and queens, what's up? Man, I am feeling groovy. And let me tell you, this is after a week of emotional turmoil, okay? Can't let the cat out of the bag just yet. But just know that I got a curveball thrown at me. How many of you have ever been in the pursuit of something great and you were totally excited about this transition that you were going to go through and the level of success that you were going to achieve, and then bam, curveball, like a significant loved one really sick, a job loss, a pregnancy, and anything you can think of. It just like bam comes in like a freight train. Or unexpected, huge expense. These curveballs, they come all the time. And one of the most difficult things to do is to actually have this spirit of, hey, this is actually a good thing, because this is a sign that I'm on track. When the curveballs come, we're usually like, oh my God, I can't never seem to get anything done. And I'm not like some people where they get to talk about, oh, look at the devil, he's busy. Technically, yeah, good and evil are always at war with each other. Yeah, I know that there are negative forces as well as positive forces. But I really, really, really don't like to give too much attention to something with such limited power. Of course, unless I turn over my power to that entity. And so anyway, what's been happening with me for about the last 2.5-3 weeks is I've been in a really intense boot camp, and I have been busting my ass working really, really hard because there's some goals that I want to achieve. And this inner work, you guys, that I've been doing is off the chain. I mean, my coach is giving me these videos to look at and take notes on, and I'm kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can't take notes. I got to digest this first. And then I got to go back and listen again. And then I find myself busting out in tears like, oh my God. It's amazing when you can work with someone who, even though you're confident, even though you're bold, even though you show up with everything you have, that they have this like mystical power where they celebrate you because of who you are, and they're excited for you, but then they can still convict you and pull from you the need to go forward further and with more fervor. And so I want to encourage you guys to really do the inner work. I did a Facebook Live video. Actually, it was just yesterday. And I was talking about how the external work is more common, but the internal work is more needed. And so in entrepreneurship, it's easy to really think that you're doing inner work because, oh my God, I was nervous, but I put up my pictures and I made sure that I promoted my website. But really what you're leading people to is the polished version of you, that photographer that took those wonderful pictures and that website that you finally got in order after spending all of that money, or that link for that automation series that you created. And you don't realize that honestly, you're not being real, because if you had a coach that said, okay, people need to know you, the essence of you, you're the number one unique identifying factor. I need you to do more live videos and to get out there and promote, or I want you to go out there, and contact some people and make sure you invite them to your event or invite them to, purchase your product, that all of a sudden you begin to freeze up. And you have this mindset where you just want things to come to you. And I'm sorry, you have to go out there and get it. You guys know I'm not really sorry though, right? But you have to go out there and get it. And so there's this fallacy that's out there. The gimmicky marketing is like, oh, just do attraction marketing and, watch all of these people just come to you and buy everything that you have. If it was really that simple. I know a coach right now who's pretty successful and she's at multiple six figures, but why you ain't just drowning in the dough automatically at seven figures? Why? Because she has to continuously perfect and tweak her message. Why? Because she has to continuously do calls with people and learn from them and talk to them and connect with them, because this thing right here, it takes work. Being an entrepreneur, in the vast majority of you sell some type of health and wellness product. You're some type of coach. You have direct contact with people because you're a massage therapist or you're an event planner. There's intimacy that is required. And you could want to make yourself look prim, proper, and polished, but that's not the answer. The answer is you. And what a lot of you don't realize is that your personal conflicts begin to affect the way you show up in business. You could only go so far. You won't work with too many women clients because you have a phobia about too many women, being in the midst of each other at the same time. You can only collaborate so often and for short periods because you always are afraid that if you work with someone, they're going to steal your stuff and take advantage of you, or when people do things that, aren't to your standards, or you feel like they're slacking. Oh, look at this person. They're taking advantage of me, without having crucial conversations to maybe find out that they were trying to hold it together and push through a death that they were experiencing. We just jump to conclusions and we feel a certain kind of way. And it gets really weird, all because we haven't dealt with the inner work. And that inner work can stem from, aunts that told you that you weren't going to be anything, a mother who seemed to be jealous of you, a father that wasn't there, or parents that were overbearing and you always wanted you to make straight A's, that didn't give you the flexibility to make decisions. They always pushed you really, really hard to be the best. There's so many different things that we've gone through in our childhood, good, bad, or indifferent, that have affected the way that we think. And then when we decide to become an entrepreneur, we have to release all of those shackles and actually find out who we are. And a lot of you're not even showing up as who you are because, you're fun loving and spontaneous, but you're trying to be all strategic and perfect because maybe you always had to do everything, to the T. So life is going to throw you curveballs. You got to be able to stand and have a fortified mindset. But having the fortified mindset has to do with you doing the inner work and you saying, okay, what makes me great when it comes to working with people? What can I do better when it comes to working with people? Do I tend to have a tendency to be optimistic or pessimistic? And if I am often, saying, well, I'm going to prepare for the worst, what does that really say about my mindset, about expectation and success? I mean, you have to really, really get down to the core of who you are and have those real conversations. And because you can make your lips say anything, when you're in those networking events or you're in a meeting with a bunch of other, bosses and you all are talking, a lot of times we say the stuff that sounds good, but it isn't necessarily true to our core beliefs. We're just doing lip service. We're actually faking it till we make it when we should be speaking until we reach it. And that means that you will say things that truly line up with the possibilities. So, I have the summit coming up The Authentic Collective Worthy of Abundance Summit is coming up. The tickets are on sale now. If you go to my website and go to the Summit tab, you're going to see that it's about being worthy of abundance. And so I don't know what you've been through in your life. If you're embarrassed because you've been through some financial calamity, you have to overcome some mindset issues from being in an abusive relationship, whether that's been mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially. If you've been the black sheep of the family, you've had to overcome the shackles of religion. If you've dealt with rape or molestation, our past, our struggles, they do come back to haunt us. And some of you may think that you've done the inner work, but you really haven't. What you've done is you've suppressed your pain and you've pushed through. But when it's time to have those relationships, then the reality of the suppression will manifest. And so I want to welcome you. I want to invite you to come to this summit. It's online. Don't worry about the dates. I can tell you the dates are August the 5th through the 8th, but you get the recordings. There's no upsells. When you purchase your ticket, you get the recordings and you get the workbook that goes with the videos to help you process and internalize the different principles that are discussed in each video, and then you can look at how you need to apply them to your own life. But the inner work, you guys, is so important. So thank you guys for always tuning in. I love you and I appreciate you. Let this nugget take you throughout the rest of this week and around the corner till we come back around next Wednesday. Pay attention to what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and what the reality of your collaborative experiences are like, your relationships with your clients are like, so that you can begin to do the work that matters the most to make you a better business owner. This is your girl, August Crenshaw. I'm outie. Deuces. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomen.don't bitch podcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.